Hello, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. James here, as ever, for today's ACCA Financial Accounting examination video, where we're going to walk and talk you through some top tutor tips that will help you to pass your examination. And I know just the lady who is going to help us. So Maria, feel free to introduce yourself and what are your first tips that could help a student out today?
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much, James, first of all, to invite me over to your conversations related to ACCA tips and techniques. And thank you so much for having me in your conversation. So let's get started. My first tip to all of the students would be to devise a study plan and read everything in detail from your study textbook, which is, I recommend the Kaplan study text. Just skim through all of the chapters and do not ignore or overlook any of the chapter because you don't like it. Just don't do that. Just read everything just like you read a normal book, and grab a pen and a paper and list all of the chapters and the estimated time in which you will complete the chapter, and move on to the practicing examination questions part, so that you can be very good in your practicing questions technique as well. So first of all, devise a study plan. Do not overlook any of the chapter, and make your own notes so that you can review those notes later. All right.
Exactly.
And the second most effective tip, which I would like to give to all of my students, are do not try to question a spot in your exam. Just because you know the question very well, just do the easy questions first, and then get back to the other difficult or trickier questions later by flagging them up. And just try to have a deeper understanding of the CBE platform ahead of your exam. So go to the ACCA Global website and just explore the resources which ACCA has provided to you. So many resources there are available in the ACCA Global website, and you can just go and review those, like technical articles. ACCA examination team has illustrated each and every topic there, and with a very simple questions, and they brief the answers of that relevant questions as well. So just go there, explore as many resources as possible, just mark them out, just highlight them, highlight the examination reports, and do review the examination reports as well, because ACCA examiners have pinpointed the weakest areas of the students which did not perform well in their last exam. So just learn the mistakes of the others, and you will be good to go in your exams.
Yeah. It's going to be the first exam really where you'll be looking at an income statement, balance sheet, getting introduced to some of the core concepts. And it's really important that you do well in this exam because it links onto future exams like financial reporting, SBR. It's really fundamental that you understand the core concepts within this examination. And you touched on there the technical articles, which I think are a really good thing to get noted down, which I'll put the link in the bottom so you can access all these free areas where if you don't know about an income statement or how to calculate goodwill, or if there's a term that came up where you weren't sure about, the article explains what it is, gives you an example, and it shows how it's been tested in the past. So again, another underused resource on there. But coming back onto the computer-based examination, what could be helpful?
Students, sorry to interrupt you, James, but so many students didn't use the technical article resource, which is really underrated in the examination community. The students who are really going to give their exam, so it's really unused resource. You said it right. And the examiner reports as well, because they pinpoint the weakest areas of other students. So you need to be sure that you will not repeat the mistakes which others have repeated in the past. So yeah, you should explore this as much as possible before your exam. And one more thing I would like to explain is just do a self-evaluation by giving 2 or 3 mocks before your exam, and give your mocks in the CBE platform, so that it will be more beneficial for you. You do not you do not interact the examination software first time when you get to give your exam, you have an you can say you have an experience of using that CBE platform earlier in your practicing session. So yeah, give 2 or 3 more exams, and because ACCA F3 syllabus is mainly about how to produce financial statements,
Yeah.
and how to have a better and deeper understanding of producing and evaluating or interpreting like ratios. Like we have a question on ratio as well in F3, and all of the papers like F3, F7, and the SBR, they all are interconnected. So you need to have a very strong concepts in order to pass all of those paper, and the starting point is always the financial accounting paper. So you need to have a better understanding of the basic concepts so that you can clear your exam in first attempt.
Yes, we also need to touch on, from your experience, why do you think lots of students actually fail the financial accounting examination? I tend to hear that it's don't read the requirement properly, poor time management. Some students have never used the CBE computer-based examination system until the day of their exam. I mean, what sort of comes to your mind that a student needs to be doing so they don't fail?
Yeah, you said it right. I think the main concern which most of the tutors are having on their students are they don't spend much of their time in exploring those resources. They waste their time until the exam is approaching really fast on them, and they just got panic by seeing the questions which are out of their understanding scope. And the main thing which they need to consider is to have a window of 2 to 3 months of preparation, so that you will have a lot of time exploring those study text or exam kit content, and then give a mock exam so that you can
Definitely.
self-evaluate yourself that where you went wrong, and then you can practice those areas as much as possible before the exam. So yeah, this is the main reason why students fail or got failed in their first attempt, or why they got the 45 to 50 range of marks, because there is not in their knowledge level gap. There is not a gap in their knowledge level. There is a weakness in their exam technique. And the proper exam technique would be to solve as many easy questions first as possible, and then move on to the difficult questions later in your
Yes.
exam. Yeah, that's all
Definitely.
about it.
Definitely. And answering the full 100 marks, the external examiner always says that some students that actually leave answers blank on there. They don't have a guess in section A. Lots of students only do 90 marks on there because of not doing enough to time. And you touched on there about the mock. Some students I've heard leave the mock till the day before the exam. They think, oh, it's going to be fresh in my mind. But you need that mock exam a week, the latest a week before the exam, so that you know which areas you need to improve in, what areas of the syllabus do I need to go back and have a look at. And again, time management as well on there.
Yeah, time management is the key, James, because you are well prepared, but examiner doesn't know that you are well prepared. Examiner should know your examination technique, because there is a software, the exams of F1, F2, and F3. The examination software doesn't know you are well prepared. It's just know the right and wrong answer.
Yeah.
So you need to be very vigilant in your time management, and also the techniques of getting easy marks first, and then move on to the harder part later.
Yeah.
And I think my technique which I did in my study phase was to solve as many examination questions as possible. And when I went wrong in some question, I just grab a piece of paper and pen, and I write the concept of that question which I did wrong. So in this way, I have a full booklet of all the wrong questions and their answers. And when the exam is approaching near, I just review all of the notes which I made earlier of based off what I did wrong in the past. And then I have a full booklet of it, and I just review it, and I know that where I went wrong. And then I have a confidence when my exam day is near, so that I do not
Yeah,
repeat the same mistake again.
exactly.
So I think
And it's
that's the best
written,
part.
yeah, and it's
Yeah,
written in your own words, because when you're going through the
exactly.
BPP and Kaplan books, some of it can be a bit overwhelming. Whereas you take the information, do a bit more research, and then put it into your own words, and then it'll always be there for you. It's a really good tip. The night before the exam, you can have a little read through, and it'd be really helpful.
Exactly, it's really helpful, James, because you are having all of the record of your previous past mistakes related to exam questions. So you do not repeat the same mistake again, and it's the best practice if you follow it,
Hmm.
because it will reduce the anxiety when the exam day is near or it came so fast.
Exactly. And to be honest, for the recording, it's a financial accounting exam. They have to test you on the basics of
Okay.
accounting. Debits and credits, your bookkeeping on there, you've got your income statement, balance sheet, all these variety of different areas you need to know for financial accounting. It's just a must before you actually go on to the next stage on there. But are there any other areas that maybe it's a student's first exam? Maybe they've had exemptions, or maybe they're actually not working in accounting. Have you come across students that have got a variety of different backgrounds, and how do you advise them to cope?
Yeah, I am having so many variety of students, and some of the students got exemptions in their early exams, like F1, F2, and F3, and they just go into the advanced level exam, like F7 or
Mhm.
SBR. So yeah, their basic conceptual knowledge is where they are lacking.
Mm,
So I always say them to work on their basics first, and then sit in the other paper,
mm.
and do your best as best as possible.
Yeah. And what about a student who's just studying full time? They're doing financial accounting, they're not working, and they are reading the concepts, but they don't know how to apply it to like a business or a real world scenario. How do you help out a student that's just basically studying full time?
Yeah, I think it's really difficult if the student is not working in a professional world, and he or she is giving their exam first time, and they don't know the practical implication of the scenarios which are listed in the examination question. So I would recommend them to just devise your study plan, read as many exam standard questions as possible, and sometimes it's really necessary to think outside of the box,
Mm,
and always review the question as if this is your company and you are the financial accountant of that company, and you are here to just do the calculation part, and to you can say to suggest something into your company, or to have a better position in your company. So just think about yourself as the responsible person of the company, and just do
yes.
accordingly the paper is in terms of in terms of your answers as well. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's really difficult to be a full-time student and not working in a corporate world. You get stuck in the
Mm.
practical application of the question which examiner always gives you in the exam.
Yeah, just reading through, honestly, if you've got a pen and paper, just reading through the requirement, put it down, just understanding what is going on, and then trying to picture in your mind how it would link, because that is where you're going to pick up on the silly mistakes. Because you and I well know there are some answers that you go, there are four answers usually. One of them
Yeah,
probably can't be right. So it's a process of elimination on there, and you're going to have some calculations, so just being prepared for that as well is another thing, not to make silly mistakes. Silly
exactly.
mistakes for me is one of the main things why people and students fail this exam.
Exactly. Reduce the distractors first. If you see four of the options and you think all of the four options are correct, reduce the one which you think that are absolutely incorrect in
Mm,
terms of the application to the scenario,
yeah.
and then you will have the two most appropriate answers in front of you, and then make an educated guess, and then
Mm,
pick a right answer in terms of your scenario,
exactly.
and you will not get negative marks if you make a guess, but don't left anything in your examination. It
Mm,
is a very major blunder which most of the students do in their exam. Like
Mm.
they don't know the answer, they will spend too much of their time in the examination by just thinking what the answer would be, rather than guessing the answer of the question, and just move on with the other questions
Yeah,
as well.
just don't leave it blank. That is just foolish on there. And also doing them on the CPE platform as if you're in that exam situation is going to best prepare you, so you get used to using the calculator, flagging the questions, and interpreting on a screen versus pen and paper on a book. All these little things are the marginal gains that are going to help you to get the 50 plus.
Exactly, James. This is why most of the students got failed in their first attempt, because they were just exploring the examination software in the exam day, and this is the bad practice. Before the examination day, you should explore the CB platform. You should do 2 to 3 mocks, and then
Yeah.
you should go to give your exam. So in this way, you will have a brighter chances of passing the exam in the first attempt.
Oh, completely agree with you, Maria. Absolutely spot on. But I mean, are there any other final financial accounting F3 tips that are in your mind that could just help out a student now to get them over the line and pass, in your opinion?
Yeah, the final tip would be to take a rest, because most of the students don't go in the examination with a fresh mind, which is very bad practice, because the tired mind won't give you a fresh answer, or won't give you a good answer to start the paper, and you will get nervous, or you will get very tired during the examination if you don't get enough sleep. So just take a proper rest and maintain your diet before your exam, so that you can have a very fresh mind and healthy mind when you solving your paper. Also, just cover each of every syllabus you will see in front of you, like never ever left any chapter because you don't like, and cover everything in detail before of your exam, and do mocks as many as possible, and then explore your weakest areas ahead of your exam, so that you can do better when you are actually giving the exam.
No,
That is my
really good tip on that, and also just keeping yourself hydrated before the exam as well. A good night's sleep. I think it's a really good point there, because if you're feeling really tired on the exam day, you've been studying the days before, maybe you've done loads of questions to time. When you're in the exam, we've talked about it at the start of the recording, you've got to be really switched on, reading it through correctly, because if you don't read it through correctly and understand what's going on, you'll make a silly mistake and you won't get the marks, because a computer marks this exam and not a human on there. So I completely agree with you.
Exactly. When you are tired, you are not thinking the right way. And the same question which you did right multiple times when you were in a fresh kind of zone, you did wrong in the exam. Why? Because you feel tired in your actual exam. So that is the main tip. Have a fresh mindset when you are giving your exam. Do not panic. Do not feel underconfident that you cannot pass your exam. Just do your best, and everything will be good if you follow the tips and techniques which the tutor always recommend you to go through.
Exactly. Applying that knowledge to whatever question they throw up, cover the whole syllabus, and question practice to time under exam conditions, you'll be spot on there. Exactly. But I must say, Maria,
yeah, two of the things are simple and yet very effective, like question practice and the time management during the exam. If you tackle both of these, you are good to go, and you can pass each and every paper of ACC exam. So yeah,
fantastic.
Just work on those areas.
Lovely. And what a way to finish today's recording on. So I'm sure everyone has really appreciated Maria's tips like I have. So be sure to give the video a massive like below, guys. And also check out the other financial accounting videos on the channel. They're all free. Just have to subscribe below so you get access to all of them, and you're notified when I upload more of them on there to help you through your ACCA journey. Maria and I would love to hear from you, where you're tuning in from today. Leave us a comment below of any questions you've got. And really, Maria, I've got to just say again, thank you so much for all of your help and tips today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much, James, for having me in your conversation as well. It was really nice talking to you, and I'm so honored to be a part of it. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're a superstar. I mean, thank you so much, guys, for watching today. Best of luck with your examination, and we'll see you again for another video soon. Have a great day.
Thank
Bye.
you so much. Bye-bye, everyone.